Hey guys, if you're like me, you just went to Disneyland for one of the first times in your life and you loved it. You're also in college and you're looking to a future career and it dawns on you, how can I work for Disney? Well, this is my story. So we're here in Disney Springs. My wife's actually the camera operator, big shout out to her. And my name is Gavin Harris. I'm a construction management major at Brigham Young University, Idaho. And I wanted to give a little bit of information about the Disney College program and what it means, and then my experience in getting into it. Well, we went to Disneyland for one of the first times in my life. I went when I was like 5-ish and didn't remember very much of it. So as a present for my wife for graduating this year, we decided to go to Disneyland. Well, we went there, and having a construction management perspective on it changed my life. Literally, I'm here in Florida. So we went there, and they were doing a preview of Star Wars Land and also a preview of the brand new Pixar Pier. We went to the Pixar Pier preview and got to see a lot of the architectural principles that I'm learning in college being applied directly to Pixar Pier. I was seeing atmospheric perspective, some of the models that they had built, and those were things that I had just recently done and I was starting to do in my college program. And so I was starting to look into what was going on with Disney, and it was a super fun thing to learn about. So we decided when we got back, we started our next semester at BYUI, and I started looking into Disney and their internships. I looked into the construction management internships, and sadly for me, they only take juniors and seniors. So I decided to say, okay, I'm not gonna let this get me down. What qualifications do I need to be able to go and do an internship in project management or VDC or anything of those matters? And so one of the things that came up was the Disney College program. Well, I had never heard of the Disney College program. And if you're like probably most of my family, you haven't either until I talk to you about it. So what is the Disney College program? The Disney College program is an employment opportunity with the Walt Disney Company. You end up taking spring, spring advantage, fall advantage, or fall, and you come down here and you work for the Walt Disney Company. These different time periods are going to be the time periods that you'll be working here. So one of the things that I did a little bit of research on was the opportunities in education I would have. One of the things that excited me the most was a video I saw of the college program going and touring the Twilight Tower of Terror. They got to do the backstage tour, they got to go through all the mechanical operations of it, and it was a very cool experience, and that would be something that applies extremely well to my degree. And so you get to learn as well as get more experience in your job and working for a large company like the Walt Disney Company. So you can find out more about the Disney College program by Googling it and Googling Disney College program. This will take you directly to their Disney support website and be able to apply there as well. So I had to go through the application process, and when you do that, you go through and you fill out an application form. You actually don't submit your resume, which kind of threw me off because every place that I've ever worked for, you've had to submit a resume. So you end up going through that. They send you an electronic interview and you fill that out, and they'll either cancel your application or you move to the next step. The next step after that is a phone interview. And that was actually really cool for me, talking with a cast member and being interviewed about a little bit about my experience with Disney and how I would act and respond to certain circumstances with the Disney Company. And so that was super fun to learn about and talk about attractions specifically, because that's what I kind of want to do. I wanted to do attractions so that I could learn in the future and become an Imagineer as a long-term goal. So being able to talk about attractions was one of my favorite things in this phone interview, because it's something that, as a potential future Imagineer, being able to understand the guest perspective, being able to understand the structural perspective, and not only that, but understanding the employment perspective, so the cast members that are involved in running and maintaining these systems. That's something that I want to be able to know and understand effectively so that I can be able to do a job as an Imagineer effectively. So this is what I talked about. We talked about like the Haunted Mansion is one of my favorite rides. It's a story completely on its own, and it's super fun to learn and talk about. And so we went through this application process, and I didn't hear from them for about 2 months. It was a long time, and it sucks, I'll tell you that. I hate waiting for that. But anyway, I got my email that I was accepted into the Disney College program. So that's been a little bit about the Disney College program, what it's about, why I decided to do it, and then the application process. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the process of actually getting here and how much of a pain that was for us. So we'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye. A big shout out to Jordan Michaelis. He's actually going to be my editor for this thing. I'm grateful for his help. And then again to my wife, who's put up with the whole traveling experience and everything going through with this. Thanks. Bye.